चतुष्पदे ओम शांति शांति शांति। सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्ष सहस्रपाद स भूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठत् दशाङ्गुलम्। पुरुष एवेदकं सर्वं यद्भूतैश्च भव्यम् पुरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतन्ति। त्रिपादो बहुधै पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवान् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामते शासनानशने मही। तस्मात् विराट जायत विराजो अधिपुरुषः स जातो मध्यरिच्यत। पश्चात् भूमिमतो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतन्वत वसन्तो सीताज्यम् भीष्म शरत्कविः परिरयः सप्तसमिदद्विषाः देवा यज्ञन्तन्वानाः अबद्धन् पुरुषं पशुं यज्ञं बर्हिषि प्रोक्षन् पुरुषं जातमग्रहः। तेन देवा अयजन्त साध्यात् ऋषयश्च ये तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्वभूतः संवृतं वृषराज्यं पशोगश्चागश्चक्रे वायव्याने आरण्यान् ग्राम्याश्च ये तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्वभूतः चन्दानं जग्निरे तस्मात् यजुस्तस्मात् भयादः गावो जग्निरे तस्मात् जाता गावयः यत्पुरुषं व्यवदुः कविता व्यकल्पयन् मुखं किमस्य कौ बाहु बाहुरोपादा उच्यते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् राजन्यकृतः पूर्वोत्तरं शूद्रो अनायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षो सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च प्राणात् वायुरजायत नाभ्यामासीदन्तरिक्षं पद्भ्यां भूमिर्दिशश्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागम् अकल्पयन् वेदाहवेदं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वा विवदन् जरास्ते विद्वान् प्रविशश्च तस्सः तमेवं विद्वान् अमृत इह भवति नान्यः पन्थः भयनाय विद्यते यज्ञेन यज्ञमयजन्त देवाः धर्माणि प्रथमान्यासन् देहनाकं महिमानः सृजन्ते यत्र पूर्वे साध्या सन्ति देवाः अन्यः सम्भूतः पृथिव्यैरसाः च विश्वकर्मणः समवर्ततानि तस्य त्वष्टा विदधद्रूपमेति तत्पुरुषस्य विश्वमाजानमग्रे वेदाहमेदं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसस्परस्तात् तमेवं विद्वानमृत इह भवति नान्यस्मन्ता विद्यते यनाय प्रजापतिश्चरति गर्भे अन्तः अजायमानो बहुधा विजायते तस्य धीरा
विश्वं नारायणं देवमक्षरं ब्रह्मपदं
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि वेणुं क्वनन्तमरविन्ददलायताक्षं वरापदां समसिताम्बुरसुन्दराङ्गं कण्डककोटिकमनीयविशेषशोभं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आलोलचन्द्रकलसर्पणमाल्यवंशी पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मय सदुज्ज्वल विग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि पन्तासुकोटिशतवत्सर सम्प्रगम्यो वायोरथापि मनसो मुनिपुङ्गवानो शक्तिरस्ति जगदन्न गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि माया हि यस्य जगदन्तशतानि शूते रसात्मतया मनसु यं प्राणिनां मनानि जयत्यजस्व गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि क्षीरं सञ्जायते नहि तदा प्रतगस्तिरेतो यस्सम्भूतैर्भवितव्यासमुपैति कार्या गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि दीपायते विवृतहेव समानधर्मा यस्तादृगेव हि च गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि व्याकारणारवजले भजते स्मयोगा निद्रामनन्तजगदण्ड सरोमधूता आकारशक्ति यस्यैकनिष्वसितकालमदावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदन्धमाता विष्णुर्महान्तरिहयस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. It's an honor and privilege to welcome each one of you to ISKCON Scarborough to this very special event that we are celebrating. Today we are celebrating the Panihati Cida Dahi Utsava. So Panihati is a village in West Bengal. It's 10 miles north of Calcutta. And Cida means chipped rice, and Dahi or Dadi means yogurt. And Mahotsav is two words, Maha and Utsav. Maha means great, And Utsav means festival. So that is this Panihati Cida Dahi or Dadi Mahotsav. And today is also the appearance day of a very, very great personality, Nammalvar, who is one of the 12 great saints from South India as well. So again, we thank you for your time and association today. So we will start today's festivities by reciting a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is staggering because the same verse is repeated 36 times in Chaitanya Charitamrita, exact same verbatim repeated 36 times. So that means it's very, very significant and very, very important. So we all should be memorizing this verse. It's very, very easy. It's only 2 lines. So we will chant this 2-line verse that is repeated 36 times out of the total of 11,155 verses that are there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is penned down by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So some of you may know this wonderful verse already. If not, you can just repeat after me. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Sadasri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Sadasri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Kodi Vaishnav Vrindi Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Sako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindi Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Yamuna Mai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Tulasi Devi Ki. Harinam Sankirtan Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Shri Radha Krishna Sri Vedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauranga Pracharini Vishesha Srimad Paschatya Prasipayini. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So again, we'd like to welcome you to this wonderful festivity today where we are celebrating the Panihati Cida Dahi Mahotsav. Again, for those of you who joined us late, Panihati is a village in north of Calcutta, which is 10 miles north of Calcutta. Some of you may have been there already. And it's chipped rice, or it's also referred to as poha. And Dadi or Dahi refers to yogurt, and Mahotsav is Maha Utsav together, so it's a great festival. And as I also mentioned, today is the appearance day of a great South Indian saint by the name of Nammalvar. He is one of the 12 Alvars, And there is also a prediction of the advent of the Alvars in Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the 11th canto, 5th chapter, verses 38 to 40, so you can refer that. It's a wonderful verse that is predicting the arrival of great personalities from South India, the great devotees of Lord Narayan, especially the Alvars. And it is said, even devotees from Satya Yuga love to take birth in Kali Yuga, especially because there are great devotees of Lord Narayan who are in Dravida Desa. Dravida Desa is South India. And they especially drink the waters of Tamaraparani, Kritamala, Kaveri, Mahanidi. So all these great rivers are still there in South India, and these great personalities who are devotees of Lord Narayan drink these holy waters. So the advent of Alvars are already predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.38 to 40 verses. And Nammalvar was the fifth of the great Alvars. Alvar means one who dives deep, and they dive deep into the ocean, nectarian ocean of Bhakti. So there are 12 Alvars, and the fifth of the 12 Alvars is Nammalvar. And Nammalvar is one great personality. When he was born, he was just like a piece of flesh. He did not talk, he did not drink mother's milk, nothing. He was just stationary in one spot. So his parents were rejoiced in the beginning that they are getting a child, but as soon as the child was born, they were shattered because this child was nothing but a piece of flesh. So what did they do? They take this little flesh or a little boy, and they place this boy at the lotus feet of the Lordship in a temple in South India, and they walk away. And in due course of time, this piece of flesh or this little boy slowly went out of the temple, climbed onto a cavity or a hole in a tamarind tree, and he started sitting there and meditating. And he was meditating and meditating and meditating, it is said, for until the time that he became 16 years of age. So there's no food, there's nothing, taking bath, nothing. So he's just sitting in the cavity of the tree for 16 years, and he was just meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, when did he appear? He appeared 43 days after Lord Krishna went back to the spiritual world. So in the year 3102 BC was the appearance of Nammalvar. And for 16 years, he was just meditating in the cavity in this tamarind tree. And then another great Alvar by the name of Madhura Kavi Alvar. So he had gone. He also appeared during the time right after Lord Krishna went back to the spiritual world. And he went on this pilgrimage to the south, to North India. He went to Ayodhya, he went to Vrindavan. So even 3,000 years ago, pilgrimage to Ayodhya and Vrindavan and Mathura was very, very important. So these great personalities went on a pilgrimage, and especially Madhura Kavi Alvar went there. And one day when he came outside of the temple that he was praying, he was seeing a bright light from the southern part of India. And so he decided to follow that light, and he came all the way to Srirangam thinking that this light is emanating from Srirangam, but it was still southern, more south to Srirangam. And in a remote village, he was able to track this tamarind tree, and within the tamarind tree was this Nammalvar who's meditating, and all this effulgence was coming from him. And he was able to spot that from northern India. So that's what the literatures say. And he came, and he was wanting to make Nammalvar speak, but he didn't speak. And finally he asked him some esoteric questions, and Nammalvar answered. And eventually, out of Divya Prabandham, so some of you may have heard what is Divya Prabandham. It's referred to as Tamil Vedas. So there are 4,000 Divya Prabandhams, and more than 1,200 of the Divya Prabandhams were recited by Nammalvar. So Nammalvar is such a great personality, and his appearance day is also today. And here in ISKCON we are celebrating the Panihati Cida Dahi Utsava today. So why do we have to hear this pastime, or why are we celebrating this festival? How many of you have heard about this Panihati Cida Dahi festival? If you have heard about it, raise your hands fully. So I'm going to ask you questions before you raise your hands. First of all, which chapter does it is referred to in Chaitanya Charitamrita? So now I'll ask the question, how many of you have heard this pastime nicely? Or read this pastime? So it's a wonderful pastime. And why do we have to celebrate this, first of all? Why are we celebrating? So it's, for the last 450 years, Gaudiya Vaishnavas have been celebrating this festival in a grand manner. And in ISKCON Scarborough, we are celebrating it for the first time this year because it falls on a Sunday, and hopefully we'll be able to carry this tradition going forward. So, why is this being celebrated throughout the world by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas? One, this festival was asked to be organized by Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who's Lord Balaram himself. So he personally said, I want you, Raghunath Das Goswami, to conduct it. And any instruction in the Vedic literature is not just meant for example, Bhagavad Gita is not just meant for Arjuna. Raghunath Das Goswami's instruction is not just meant for Raghunath Das Goswami, but for all of us. We cannot imitate, but we can follow in the footsteps. So here, because it was so dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was so dear to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, it has to be dear to all of us as well. So some of us work in a company where you are reporting to your manager will report to his manager to your GM of the company, and then the CEO of the company. All of you should be aligned with this. You have to be calibrated to the same requirement. Is that not right? So your manager asks you to do something and you think that something else is more important, and when you do that, it doesn't work that way. So you have to do what is aligned for you by your manager and by his manager to his manager, and so on and so forth. So when it is important to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if it is important to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who's Lord Balaram, it has to be important to all of us, because it's important to all the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas also in our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. It was so dear to ISKCON founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada that he wanted this to be conducted in a grand manner, especially in the Calcutta ISKCON as well, and it's being conducted on a yearly basis without fail with great pomp and glory as well. Now, it is also very, very dear to one great present Acharya in our ISKCON. It is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Now, some of us know that Maharaj is getting better now. His health is not the greatest as we speak. He's getting better as of today. So his photograph is also coming for the devotees who have not seen Jayapataka Maharaj, but I doubt based on the devotees who are here today. But we can meditate on Maharaj. So it is very, very dear to His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Now to go back in time, there is an ISKCON temple in Atlanta, and the ISKCON temple is called as New Panihati Dham. So the temple itself is New Panihati Dham, and Srila Prabhupada named this center New Panihati Dham in the year 1974. And the devotees were all new, and they didn't know what is this Panihati. They can't even pronounce this Panihati. What is this? Which part of the universe this Panihati is? So they asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you named this center New Panihati Dham. Where is this? How can we go? We want to go and see. So Srila Prabhupada arranged for all these devotees from Atlanta temple to go to Panihati in the year 1976. And a group of devotees went to Panihati in India, in West Bengal, which is 10 miles north of Calcutta. And they went to the same tree. You'll hear in the next few minutes what is this tree. So they went underneath the same banyan tree which is still standing, and then they distributed bananas as well as milk bikis. The biscuits that are available, they distributed that, and so many local residents came in huge numbers because Western white-body devotees were distributing. So there was so much of crowd, hundreds and thousands of people came there, and this wonderful festival took place in the year 1976. So the devotees were so much fascinated by the events that took place in Panihati, and also they read this Antya-lila chapter 6. So that's where this is described, Panihati, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila chapter 6. So they read that in Bengali, a local resident read that in Bengali, and one of the devotees from Atlanta temple read the translation as well. So they had wonderful celebration there. When they came back, from 1976 onwards, they started celebrating this Panihati festival in Atlanta temple. And they did it in great faith and love for 6 years. So from 1976 to 1981. And in the year 1981, this Panihati festival went so many notches above. What they were doing, it multiplied so many more times. And that was because His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj actually went to New Panihati Dham in 1981, and he said, this Panihati festival is so near and dear to all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So why just have celebration? Why just have celebration just for Atlanta devotees? Let's open it up. Let us bring all the devotees from North America. Let's do a grand festival. Why 8 pots? Let's have 500 pots. And he himself comes and cooks, and he himself comes with his disciples who sets up everything. Not just for 1 year in the year 1981. From that year onwards, every year His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj used to come to Atlanta temple for 30 consecutive years. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
So for 30 consecutive years, Jayapataka Swami and his disciples came, and this expanded, this celebration expanded. Now it is a 3-day festival in Atlanta temple where they have this Panihati festival as well as Rath Yatra. So 3 days, a 3-day program is taking place there, and Maharaj was honored especially for 30 consecutive years. Now, when you think about it, 1981 add 30 years, and that is to 2011. And what happened in 2008, Maharaj? Maharaj had some health issues in 2008, as you know. In spite of that, he did not miss coming in the month of June to Atlanta temple. So it is so near and dear to our Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees and acharyas. So we are also celebrating this today at ISKCON Scarborough, so that we can please His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj as well, who is actually regaining his health as we speak. So it is very important that we hear the pastimes. What happens when we hear the pastime? Why do we have to hear the pastime? One is celebrating. Why do we hear the pastime? One is when we actually hear the pastime, we are connected to the past. Is that not right? We are connected to the past. We are present. In 2015 we are here, and this happened 450 years ago. So we are connected to the past through this bridge of pastime. You know, the bridge between between a river. There is a river, there is a bridge across it. So we are connected from the present to the past through the bridge of the pastime. For those of you, for those of us who know the pastime, we remember the pastime. For those of you who may not know the pastime, you are going back in time to hear this pastime. It's like a live telecast. That's what our acharyas have given us through this wonderful literature of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And today we will read 2 wonderful verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, chapter 6. The title of the chapter is Lord Chaitanya Meets Raghunath Das Goswami. And also, why do we hear the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Because we read Ihare Prasade Paiba Krishna Tattva Sara Sarva Shastra Siddhantere Iyan Paiba Para. So here it is said, when we hear the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we understand the truth of Lord Krishna. So again, when we hear the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we understand the truth of Lord Krishna. And what happens when you understand the truth of Lord Krishna? When we understand the truth of Lord Krishna, we understand the extent of all knowledge described in all the revealed scriptures. So, if you are not able to understand Bhagavad Gita, hear the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you are unable to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, hear the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Iyare Prasade Paiba Krishna Tattva Sara. And it's also said, as we know, we chant, we come to the temple, we do various services. Why? Ultimately, to get the love, Krishna Prem of Lord Krishna. So here it is said, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabonai Shavanadi Suddha Siddha Kare Udai. Pure love of God is always established in our heart. It doesn't have to be achieved or obtained from an outside source. It's always inside us. Just like, the story of this very, very rich person's son. His father died. And when his father died, there was a lot of wealth that was left for the son. So the lawyer said, your father has actually left so much of wealth for you. And then the son started searching for this wealth. He went all over the world to search for the wealth. And eventually, in search of his unlimited father's wealth, he died. And when he died, they brought his body and they dug the backyard of his palatial father's house to bury him. And when they dug the hole to bury this son, that's where they found the unlimited wealth. So the wealth was right there, but he was going everywhere throughout the world in search of the wealth. So here it is said, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Suddha Siddha Karya Udai. So pure love of God is within us. We don't have to go anywhere else to obtain that. But once it is cleaned up, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, once the dirt is cleaned by Shravanam and Kirtanam, then this pure love of God is revealed. So on that note, we will read two verses. The first verse is the 51st verse of the 6th chapter of Antya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The title of the chapter is Lord Chaitanya meets Raghunath Das Goswami. Dadi Cida Bakshana Karaha More Gane Suni Anandita Haile Raghunatha Mane. Again. Dadi Cida Bakshana Karaha More Gane Suni Anandita Haile Raghunatha Mane. The meaning of this verse is, make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and chipped rice. Hearing this, Raghunatha Dasa was greatly pleased. So this instruction to Raghunath Das Goswami is given by Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Nityananda Prabhu, that is Lord Nityananda Prabhu, the blue turban that we can see as well. So here Lord Nityananda Prabhu is instructing Raghunath Das Goswami, make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and chipped rice. Hearing this, Raghunath Das Goswami was greatly pleased. So we'll hear more about this, what led to this order by Lord Nityananda Prabhu. But I would also like to read one more verse, fast forwarding about 200 or 300 verses from the same 6th chapter. Now we are going to read the verse 328, because there is a benediction in this verse. Eta kahiyan Raghunatera milana Ihaye sune pai Chaitanya charana. The translation is, thus I have described the meeting of Raghunath Dasa with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyone who hears about this incident attains the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I just wanted to give you the benediction verse by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, because for the next 45 minutes or so we'll hear this, we'll soak ourselves in this wonderful pastime. And what is there for all of us? This is the end result, this is the benediction. So anyone who hears, it's not that second initiated devotees or initiated devotees. So anyone who hears about this incident attains the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there everywhere, in our heart, everywhere. But especially he is in Goloka Vrindavan. So all who hears this, anyone who hears this will attain the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the main personalities in this wonderful pastimes are Raghunath Das Goswami. You would have already guessed by now, we have referred to Raghunath Das Goswami's name a few times. So who's Raghunath Das Goswami? Beautiful. Yeah, so he's one of the 6 Goswamis, and Goswami means, Go means senses and Swami means master. So one who's mastered the senses are Goswami, not just the senses, 5 senses, but also one who's mastered the mind is referred to as Goswami. So that is one of the 6 Goswamis, and eternally is a Nitya Siddha, is a Rasa Manjari, is also a Gopi eternally. And we read from Chaitanya Charitamrita in the same chapter that he was chanting every day for 22 hours. So all of us have 24 hours. Even 500 years ago it was only 24 hours. Out of 24 hours, he was chanting for 22 hours. Again, some of the things we cannot imitate, but we can follow. Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada has explained that we need to chant 16 rounds minimum. So we do that. But for us to know the exalted nature of the devotees, so here he was chanting for 22 hours and he was sleeping for only 1.5 hours. So 22 hours chanting, 1.5 hours of sleeping, and the remaining half an hour for taking bath and doing other things. So that's how he spent his 24 hours. And there is wonderful song penned down by Narottam Das Thakur, and the song's name is Nama Sankirtan. So in that Nama Sankirtan, there is a very, very special verse there. This particular verse explains that when we offer our worship to the 6 Goswamis, then all the obstacles in the path of devotional services are removed. So all of us do find some obstacles. When we want to chant, we go to sleep. We have so many other obstacles. All the obstacles in the path of devotional service will be removed, and all the benedictions will be bestowed upon us when we offer our worship to the 6 Goswamis. So, Sri Rupa Sri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha. So these are the 6 Goswamis. So Mahanadi Swami explains that in Mayapur and in Vrindavan, the local residents chant this mantra which we just heard 10 times before they chant Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, that mantra, before they start chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So first is we have to offer worship to the 6 Goswamis, then to the Panchatattva, then the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And as you heard, Raghunathas Goswami was a Nitya Siddha. So there are terminologies, Nitya Siddha, then we have Sadhana Siddha, and then we have Kripa Siddha. So it's very important for us to know that these 6 Goswamis are Nitya Siddha. So Nitya Siddha means those who have attained perfection by never forgetting Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada explains, attaining perfection is important. Whether we attain it through never forgetting Krishna as Nitya Siddhas, we are not. That's why we are in this material world. So, do we have a chance? Yes. Because there is a second category which is Sadhana Siddha. Sadhana Siddha means attaining perfection by following the rules and regulations. How do we do Vaidhi Bhakti? So, by following the rules and regulations given in Narada Pancharatra Pradipa, by the instruction given by a spiritual master. So, by attaining perfection that way, that is Sadhana Siddha. An example of Sadhana Siddha, we read from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where it was Sutapa and Prishni, they performed wonderful austerities for 12,000 years. Those in that yuga, they used to live for hundreds and thousands of years. So 12,000 years they performed austerities in heat, cold, rain, wind, and after that Prishni Garbha appeared. Similarly, Kashyapa Muni and Aditi, they performed various sacrifices and austerity, especially Mother Aditi. We read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Payovrata sacrifice. And then, who appeared as their son? Vamanadev. And then, of course, Devaki and Vasudev, they had to go through this torture of seeing their 6 sons getting killed by Kamsa. And then eventually Lord Krishna appeared. So, that is Sadhana Siddha. And an example of Nitya Siddha is, anybody remembers? Drona and Dara. We talked about it the other day. Drona and Dara. So they attain perfection by being eternal associates of the Lord, never forgetting the Lord. So that is Nitya Siddha, then it is Sadhana Siddha, then it is Kripa Siddha. Kripa Siddha means attaining perfection by just getting the mercy of great personalities or by great devotees. An example is Jagai and Madai. So Jagai and Madai were sinful, but just by Lord Nityananda's mercy, they attained perfection. And also another example of somebody attaining perfection by Kripa is Narada Muni himself. Because he performed a wonderful service to the traveling mendicants and he became Narada. He was a maidservant's son when he got this benediction. So the 6 Goswamis, Rupa Goswami especially, and the 6 Goswamis are Nitya Siddhas. They attain perfection by never forgetting Lord Krishna. And the second key personality in this pastime is Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who appeared in the year 1474 in Ekachakra. And that was 12 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can appear, and he is referred to as, is referred as Adi Guru. Is referred to as Adi Guru. And it is also said that Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai. That's what Nityananda Prabhu is referred to as. Let's repeat that again. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Akrodha means what? Krodha means anger. Akrodha means no anger. He never gets angry. Akrodha Paramananda. Parama Ananda. Eternal bliss. Parama means eternal bliss. Ananda means, and then his name itself is Nityananda. So Nitya Ananda, eternally again, supremely blissful. So that is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And the third important personality in this pastime is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the year 1486, which is 12 years after Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared. So which is 528 or 529 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lord Krishna himself appeared in West Bengal. And he appeared because of two reasons. One is external and the other is internal. I'm hoping all of us know this because Gaurav Purnima was recent and you'd have heard this. So external reason and internal reason. So why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared externally is again for two reasons. We're just summarizing today, we're not going deeper. So two reasons. One is to establish the Yuga Dharma of this age. That means the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to all of us, not just for human beings but also for animals and also for plants and trees. As we read in Chaitanya Bhagavat as well, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, how he went to Jarigan forest and he delivered all the animals and plants and trees. And the second external reason is to fulfill the desire of his devotee Advaita Acharya, because he prayed with the tulasi leaves and water based on the instruction from Gautamiya Tantra. What does it say? When one offers tulasi and water to Lord Krishna cannot repay the debt. All the wealth, everything belongs to Lord Krishna, but Lord Krishna says, even if I give all the wealth, I will not liquidate my debt to that person who's offering with love and devotion tulasi and water. So what did he do? He said he has to come personally. So he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So to fulfill the desire of his devotee Advaita Acharya, that's the second external reason. And the internal reason is for Krishna to experience the bliss and the love that Srimati Radharani and the other devotees are extracting from Lord Krishna. Because Lord Krishna is so sweet, and when can the sugar enjoy its own sweetness? Sugar cannot enjoy its own sweetness. So who can enjoy the sweetness of sugar? It's the ant. Such a devotee comes in the complexion and in the mood of Srimati Radharani to enjoy the bliss that Srimati Radharani and the other devotees are enjoying by serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So, those are the internal and external reasons as to why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita 3 times, Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Savadido, Gaudodaya Pushpavando, Chitro Sando Tamonado. It is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared simultaneously. As you heard, it's not millions of years apart. They appeared one day in the life of Lord Brahma, and that was so close, only 12 years apart. So they appeared simultaneously in the eastern horizon of Gauda, which is the West Bengal, to dissipate the darkness and to bestow benedictions upon all of us. So this verse is repeated 3 times. And there is another wonderful verse in the Adi Leela, 8th chapter, 5th verse, and that is very significant for all of us. Just by remembering the lotus feet of the Panchatattva, so I'm going to repeat this again. Just by remembering the lotus feet of the Panchatattva, then you can see the stars in the sky, a lame can cross the mountains, and a dumb man can become a poet. So we have hope. All of us have hope. Just by remembering Panchatattva, a lame can cross the mountains, blind can see the stars in the sky, and a dumb can become a poet. So when we hear the pastimes of the Lord, we remember the Panchatattva, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is part of this Panchatattva. And when we remember the Lordship, then automatically we will attain success in everything. And the most important verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because we are going to hear this pastime about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is that Katanchane Smrite Yashmin Dushkaram Sukaram Bhava Vismrite Viparitam Syat Sri Chaitanyam Namamitham, where it is said, just by remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, most difficult things become very easy to execute. Now, how many of you think that you don't have problems in your life? You may be a teacher, you may be a lawyer, you may be a doctor, all of us have problems. You may be a student, you still have problems. And how can you get rid of all the problems? Just by remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all your problems will be easy to execute. But on the flip side, when you don't remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the easy things to do becomes a bigger problem. Katanchana smrite yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavat yasmrite viparitam syat Sri Chaitanyam namamitam. So, now with all that foundational aspects of this pastime, we will hear this glorious pastimes, but still we cannot go to the 6th chapter of Antya-Leela directly to hear this Panihati festival. No, we cannot go there. So first we need to know who Raghunath Das Goswami. We briefly heard who Raghunath Das Goswami is, but now we go to Adi-Leela chapter 10 to know a little bit more about his pastimes here on this earth. So Raghunath Das Goswami appeared as the only son of Govardhana Majumdar. And this Govardhana Majumdar had an elder brother, his name was Hiranya Majumdar. They are all devotees of the Lord, and it is said their annual income was 1,200,000 rupees. This is in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Which year?
450 years ago, their income was 1,200,000 rupees per annum. Now, to put this in perspective, Bhakti Charu Swami explains that 450 years ago, 50 kgs of rice was 1 rupee. Okay, now 1 kg is what? 10 rupees if you want basmati rice. So 50 kgs of rice was 1 rupee. Now you multiply that. Just imagine 500 times, 600 times the value. So their annual income was 1,200,000 rupees per annum. So he's not a normal personality getting, average income per month. They were extremely rich. And Srila Prabhupada explains that in today's term we can call them millionaires or billionaires. So the whole of Nadia, the Brahmins in Nadia were expecting donations from Govardhana Majumdar and his brother Hiranya Majumdar and Raghunath Das Goswami for them to survive. And they had a family priest as well as a family guru. They had a family priest and his name was Balaram Acharya. And who's this Balaram Acharya? He's the favorite of Haridas Thakur. See the personalities they were associating with. They had a family priest, and the family priest was a favorite of Haridas Thakur. And they had a family priest, and his name was Yadunandana Acharya. And who's he? He's the disciple of Advaita Acharya. So the great personalities were surrounding this Raghunath Das Goswami, and he was married at a very young age. So he had the opulence of Indra, and his wife was like an Apsara. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Most beautiful wife, most chaste, obedient wife was Raghunath Das Goswami's wife. So this is what we read from Adi-Leela chapter 10. Now we forward to, as you know, Chaitanya Charitamrita is divided into 3 segments. One is Adi-Leela, Madhya-Leela and Antya-Leela. So from Adi-Leela we have extracted a little bit to know more about Raghunath Das Goswami. Now we go to Madhya-Leela to know that the chapter 16, this explains how Raghunath Das Goswami served the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu twice in Shantipur for 7 days in 2 installments, and then he tried to run away, and then he stayed home based on the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here, by the way, we are going to have Aarti at 12:15 today. So we already explained to discussed that with some of our devotees because we started late. So the Aarti will be at 12:15. So we have 20 more minutes to cover this wonderful pastime. So fasten your seat belts. We'll go a little bit fast. 450 years ago, 3 different chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So here in the 16th chapter of Madhya-Leela, we hear how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he took sannyas initiation, and he took sannyas initiation when he was 24 years of age. So he comes to Shantipur. Shantipur is the residence of Advaita Acharya. And there, Raghunath Das Goswami, who is living in this Calcutta region, was able to go to Shantipur, which will be about 100 kilometers away from where he was. So he went there and he served Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wonderfully well. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed his lotus feet on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. So maybe we can ask Panchal Prabhu to keep a count on how many times he is getting the lotus feet of great personalities on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. Okay? So this is the first time in Shantipur.
Okay.
And who placed the feet on whose head? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed the lotus feet on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. Okay? That will wake him up now. Okay? So that was the first time. Then after he got, so you know that when there is so much of heat in material life in India, for those of you who may know, in the last 1 week 2,000 people have died because of extreme heat. And just imagine Raghunath Das Goswami is actually burning in this forest fire of material existence, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu places his cooling lotus feet on his head. So he's so intoxicated in that, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already left Shantipur, and he came back to his home, and he's got this pull, he's got this magnetic attraction towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what does he do? One night he wakes up, starts running towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in Jagannath Puri. He starts running. His father is a millionaire or billionaire. So he's got many guards, and he's the only son. He's married, he's got a young wife. So he sends the guard, they catch him, bring him. Few days later, he runs away from the palatial house through a different door at different times. So one was early in the morning, one was late in the night. Different times he's running away through different directions, through different parts of the house. Every time to be captured back by the guards of his father. Every time they bring him back. And his father decided, now it's very risky. Every time we have managed to bring him back, now I'm going to keep 5 guards monitoring him 24 hours a day, because he has to take care of our family business and take care of his wife. So we're going to keep 5 guards to take care of Raghunath Das Goswami, so that every time he runs, we will catch him. We will not even allow him to run, so that we don't have to go and catch him. And then he also puts 4 personal assistants to take care of the needs of Raghunath Das Goswami, so that he does not think of going and struggling in Vrindavan or Jagannath Puri. So to take care of all his comforts, 4 other people are put, plus 2 personal Brahmin cooks were there to cook for Raghunath Das Goswami. So again, how many people were put on the service of Raghunath Das Goswami? 5 guards, 4 to take care of his personal needs, and 2 personal cooks, which is 11 people monitoring him 24 hours of the day. And then what happens? In the next few months, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again comes to Shantipur, which is about 100 kilometers away from where Raghunath Das Goswami used to live. So again he wants to go. His father said, no, you're not going. I know when you go, you'll never come back and you'll run away. Then Raghunath Das Goswami threatens to commit suicide if he is unable to go and see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shantipur. So with so many more guards with Raghunath Das Goswami, his father allows him. And who's his father? Govardhana Mazumdar. Govardhana Mazumdar's brother's name is Hiranya Mazumdar. And what is their total annual income? 1,200,000. Just we'll touch base with some of these numbers. So, second time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to Shantipur, and with so much of guards surrounding Raghunath Das Goswami, he goes to Shantipur. Again he serves Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 7 consecutive days, just like he did the first time in Shantipur. And when he did that, every minute he's thinking how to run away. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes, how do I run away and go? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lord Krishna himself knows. He can read everybody's mind. He knows past, present and future. He said, be patient and go back home. Exact verbatim. Be patient, go back home. Don't be a crazy fellow. That's the translation in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Don't be a crazy fellow. Enjoy the material life, but do not get attached to it. So again, I'm going to repeat that. Be patient, go back home, don't be a crazy fellow, enjoy your material life, but do not get attached to it. And at the right time, Lord Krishna will reveal the plan for you to come to me and meet me in Jagannath Puri at the right time. So, Raghunath Das Goswami was extremely pleased, because there is a prediction. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has predicted the future, that eventually he is going to go. So he is so happy and he is so calm now. So that is part of the Madhya Leela 16th chapter that we have extracted to show that how we serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu twice, and how for 7 consecutive days, and how we tried to escape several times, and how after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to him to go back home and enjoy material life but not get attached to it, he was calm and he went back. Now we fast forward to the Antya Leela 6th chapter, which is the 5th largest chapter in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in one chapter in Adi Leela, there is one chapter that has got more than 329 verses. Then there are 3 chapters in Madhya Leela which has got more than 329 verses. One has got actually 406 verses. Very, very long chapter. And this is the 5th longest chapter, which is the Antya Leela. It contains 329 verses. So the rest of the pastime is from the 6th chapter of Antya Leela. The Panihati festival is here. So here, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu promised him, you are going to come, he predicted you are going to come and join me eternally there. You go back home. So he came back and he served perfectly as a pounds and shillings man. Again, that's what is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Pounds and shillings man means he was a businessman. He wonderfully performed his role as a business manager. And once his uncle, and his uncle's name is Hiranya Mazumdar. He was in some financial crisis because of a problem that was stirred up by a Muslim tax collector. And because of his business brains, Raghunath Das Goswami saved his uncle from this big disastrous event that would have taken place. So, and his parents also loosened the grip on him, they loosened the guards on him, because he was perfectly serving as a great son, as a great husband, as a great businessman as well. So the guards loosened that grip. So for 1 full year, he was serving as a family man, but every minute his mind was how to go back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. And what happens? He suddenly remembered, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already predicted that I'm going to join him in Jagannath Puri. So after the guards loosened some grip, one night he took off. Started running, only to be caught by the guards again, brought back. Same thing which we heard before in the Madhya Leela 16th chapter is again repeated in the Antya Leela 6th chapter. He's trying his level best to go through every possible exit at different times to escape from his family life to go back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Every time he's caught and brought back. And his mother said to his father, why don't we tie him up? He's such a big man, he's a family man, millionaire, but still we can't just afford to lose him. He's going to go at some point. Let's tie him up. Let's tie this big man, a grown-up man up. So at that time his father says, no, we cannot tie him. Because he's got the wealth of Indra, he's got a wife like Apsara, still we cannot even keep his mind attached to that. How can we control him by just tying him physically here? It's not possible, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has bestowed his wonderful benediction on him. So they are worried about how they are going to catch him the next time when he escapes. And Raghunath Das Goswami is thinking when he can escape again permanently. And at that time, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who you see here raising his right arm, is coming to Panihati. Panihati is not far from Raghunath Das Goswami's house, it's north of Calcutta. So he's come. So it is very close. It's not even as far as Shantipur. So it's very close to where Raghunath Das Goswami lives. And Raghunath Das Goswami gets the permission of his parents because it's so close, and because it is not Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is only Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So his parents allow him to go to meet Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So when he goes to meet Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he's hiding so far behind, and he sees Lord Nityananda Prabhu sitting on a rock underneath a banyan tree in the shores of Ganges. And it is said that the effulgence is like hundreds and thousands of sun together. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is there. So he offers his obeisances from so far away, but one of the devotees who is sitting next to Nityananda Prabhu says, that is Raghunath Das Goswami. So immediately Lord Nityananda Prabhu calls Raghunath Das Goswami and he says, you're a thief. Why is he calling you a thief? Because he's hiding. Thieves hide and they get the best. And what was he doing? He was getting the best by offering obeisance to Lord Nityananda Prabhu and the great Vaishnavas there. So you're a thief and I'm going to punish you. And what is the punishment he got? He pulls him and he places his lotus feet on his head. And what is this time? Second time. First time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shantipur, and second time Lord Nityananda Prabhu in Panihati. So he places his lotus feet on the head of Raghunath Das Goswami and he says, I'm going to punish you further. And the punishment is, I want you to conduct this wonderful chipped rice festival and feed all the devotees here. And that was the verse that we read. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu said, make a festival and feed all my devotees yogurt and chipped rice. Hearing this, Raghunath Dasa was greatly pleased. So here, Raghunath Das Goswami used all his wealth to buy all the wonderful ingredients that are needed to conduct this wonderful chipped rice festival in Panihati. And it is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, 400 huge pots. I can't even imagine the size of pots. Huge pots. You can think of, half the size of this room maybe. 400 huge pots, and then 7 extremely large pots. And then it is said that chipped rice was soaked in hot milk, and then half the quantity was actually transferred and mixed with banana, sugar and yogurt. And the remaining part of this chipped rice that was soaked in hot milk was mixed with condensed milk, banana, sugar, clarified butter and camphor. So, our wonderful young devotees have made a wonderful preparation for all of us. We will all get an opportunity to honor this wonderful chipped rice later today. So this is exactly following in the footsteps of Raghunath Das Goswami. What was done, and this was personally instructed by Lord Nityananda Prabhu to Raghunath Das Goswami and to all of us to conduct this wonderful chipped rice festival. So there was wonderful preparation that was made, and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not here yet. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu is actually sitting on a raised platform, and below him there were several other devotees sitting, and each one of them were given 2 pots, and one pot was chipped rice which was soaked in milk with yogurt, banana and sugar, and in the second pot chipped rice that is soaked in milk with condensed milk, banana, sugar, clarified butter and camphor. Each one had that, and Lord Nityananda Prabhu in his meditation brought Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. See the influence of Lord Nityananda Prabhu brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his meditation physically there, and there was this wonderful festivity that was going on. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu were feeding each other. They were actually Nityananda Prabhu was taking some of the grains from others' pots, and he was feeding Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he induced everybody to chant Hari, Hari, 2 times, Hari, Hari. So let's all chant what Nityananda Prabhu wanted us to chant. Hari, Hari. And then they started chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and it is said that it reverberated throughout the universe. So let's raise our hand and chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reverberating at least through this room. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So after this wonderful festival was, actually as it was going on, every devotee got 2 pots of this chipped rice with all these ingredients, and they were all sitting on the banks of Ganges. As you know, how big is Ganges? How big are the shores of Ganges? There was no place in the shores in the Ganges, according to Chaitanya Charitamrita. So all of them with the 2 pots in the hand started going to Ganges, within the Ganges. And water was up to neck deep, and they are holding the pots here and they are taking it from here and eating it. So much of devotees there, they came from all parts of West Bengal when they know that such great festivity was going on. And all the shopkeepers were coming. They were selling condensed milk. And it is out of stock. Out of stock. There is no banana, there is no milk, condensed milk. Because so many devotees were. And Raghunath Das Goswami is buying everything with his material wealth that he's got. And he's asking all the shopkeepers, please go and eat as well. So they are selling it and they are honoring this great, wonderful prasadam as well. And Raghunath Das Goswami was given this wonderful prasadam as well. And then next day, so this wonderful festivity was concluded, and the next day, Raghunath Das Goswami goes back to the shores of Ganges, again beneath this banyan tree. Nityananda Prabhu is again sitting on top of this rock, and now he goes with not by himself, with Raghava Pandit. Raghava Pandit is another great personality here. We have 5 more minutes. Yeah. So we have, so Raghava Pandit goes with Raghunath Das Goswami, and then he actually tells his desire to Raghava Pandit to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He doesn't directly go to Nityananda Prabhu and say, please bless me so that I attain the lotus feet of Chaitanya. No, go through the proper channel. If you want something, if you're working in a bank, you go to your manager. Your manager goes to his manager. You don't go to the CEO directly. So here he's going to Raghava Pandit, and Raghava Pandit is approaching Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he's saying, my dear Lord, I'm so fallen. I'm so sinful. Though he is not, he's saying, I'm so fallen, I'm so sinful. I've been like a dwarf trying to reach this moon. You know, dwarf is so short. However he tries to jump, can he reach the moon? No. He's saying, I was like a dwarf trying to jump and reach the moon of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But with your mercy, I will be able to attain him. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu says, you are already blessed because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased with you. So he had come yesterday and he honored whatever was offered by you. So right now, all the obstacles that were there for your bondage of material life has been removed. Very soon, and this is second prediction. First time there was a prediction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which was from say 100 feet above. Now the details are there. You will attain the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very soon, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will put you under the guidance of Swarup Damodar, and you will be an eternal associate of the Lord, and you will attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So we have to go through the proper channel. So he went through the proper channel. He could not go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Das Goswami could not go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. He had to get the blessings of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, follow his instruction of conducting this Panihati festival, as well as Lord Nityananda Prabhu called all the disciples there, devotees there, please bless Raghunath Das Goswami. So all the devotees blessed Raghunath Das Goswami. Lord Nityananda Prabhu blessed Raghunath Das Goswami, and very soon what had happened? And then it is said that maybe we'll conclude with this one. So this passion goes on and on in chapter 6, but maybe we'll stop with one concluding portion of this Panihati festival. So this is next day. So we're talking about next day when he got the blessings of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and all the devotees who are present there. So now the path is cleared, all the obstacles have been cleared, and eventually he went back to Jagannath Puri. So that's for maybe another day we'll hear that pastime. But one thing which we want to conclude is, right after getting the blessings of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and all the devotees who are assembled there, what did he do? Raghunath Das Goswami called the servant of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, took 100 gold coins and 7 tolas of gold. 100 gold coins is on an average for the devotees who work in a bank. Maybe you'll know that it's about $500 depending on the size. Say $500 multiplied by 100 gold coins. So 100 gold coins he gives to the servant of Lord Nityananda Prabhu for the service, for his devotional service, devotional activities, plus 7 tolas of gold. 1 tola is 11 grams. 1 gram is about $50. So multiply that. That's about $3,850. Plus this 100 gold coins he gives quietly to the servant of Lord Nityananda Prabhu for service. Then he calls Raghava Pandit. You heard about Raghava Pandit. So he gives 100 gold coins plus 2 tolas of gold, which is 11 grams multiplied by 50, to Raghava Pandit. He said, equally share this and give to all the devotees who are here. See his heart. So he does not think, oh, if I give it to Raghava Pandit, will he take the money? No, he's giving it to him. You divide and give it to all the Vaishnavas who are present here. And all without any pomp and glory, without any advertisement, he gives that and he goes away. So this paved the way. After getting the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu and after getting the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas there, then he was able to attain the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he attained the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he say? Now Lord Krishna has delivered you from the ditch of material life, which is compared to the hole into which people pass stool. So this is Lord Krishna is saying, what does he think of the material life? You have been saved from the material life, which is the ditch of material life, which is like the hole into which people pass through. So just imagine what Lord Krishna, let's go, get out of this material world. So there are many wonderful lessons from this wonderful pastime. So one is, we are all celebrating this because Lord Nityananda Prabhu wanted this. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely pleased. And I wanted you to count also, not only, so how many times?
2 times.
2 times, which I missed because the third time was the day after when Raghunath Das Goswami went, when he was sitting on the rocks, when he said, I want your blessings, he went through Raghav Pandit, and at that time he placed his lotus feet on his head as well. So 3 times. One in Shantipur by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, twice in Panihati by Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So here the lesson learnt is, we just need to wrap it up. So the lesson learnt is, what is that we learn? He's also Grahastha. You remember he had a wife like Apsara, and he was chanting. Later on he started chanting for 22 hours. So here Anukara and Anusara. So we have to follow in the footsteps, not imitate. So we chant the minimum number of rounds that is given to us by Srila Prabhupada. And the money that he donated, Panihati festival, how much he spent, he used his wealth to have this wonderful festivity there. And as you heard, devotees did not even have place in the shores of Ganges. They had to go into the water. So many devotees were there. Now, and also he gave 100 gold coins and 7 tolas of gold. Then to all the devotees, 100 gold coins and 2 tolas of gold. So what does it tell us? It is said, Lord Krishna does not see what we offer, but Lord Krishna sees what we hold back. So Lord Krishna does not see what we offer, but Lord Krishna sees what we hold back. So here he had so much of wealth, he did not come to ISKCON Scarborough and say, okay, $50 for the Lordship. So based on what we have, we give to the Lord for the preaching activity. So this is something that we can learn. And also his humility. He was so wealthy, so he was spiritually so advanced. Because he was so humble, it attracted the attention of the Lord and the devotees of the Lord. So this was a wonderful pastime of Panihati festival that is wonderfully narrated in the Antya Leela 6th chapter. So maybe we take any questions on this before we wrap this up?
No, my thing is, Prabhu, Lord Nityananda is coming here on June 4th.
Yes.
Along with his very senior representatives from Mayapur Dham.
It
So
is
we
a-
cannot hold back.
Yes, so that is a good point. As we just heard how Raghunath Das Goswami was giving what he had. So here, coming Thursday, there's a great festivity. You see the banner here. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Lord Nityananda Prabhu's Paduka, or this holy slipper, is coming here from Mayapur for the very first time. As well as what is circled there is the Shadari, or Lord Nrsimhadev is coming here. And there is also, they are here to give us an opportunity to give some donation as well for this wonderful temple that is being built in Mayapur. So we humbly request all the devotees to Ambarish Prabhu may come here on Thursday, not sure, but a good group of devotees are coming here. So the program on Thursday starts at 6:30 p.m. So we humbly request all of you to be here to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And in the next little while, we'll explain to you who did what to make this wonderful Panihati festival happen today at ISKCON Scarborough. Panihati Mahotsav ki, Raghunath Das Goswami ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Lord,
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini
Saraswati Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashtatari Pracharini
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashtatari Pracharini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Acharya Ashtottara Shadashri Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Gaura Kishwar Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Thakur Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Ki Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Shri Rupa Sanadana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shat Goswami Vrinda Prabhu Ki नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की जमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की समवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्री व धर्म की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की पानीहाटी चिड़ा दही महोत्सव की श्री श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मय सुदर्शन की जय निताय गौर सुंदर की जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय समवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशता
सिंह भगवान आनंद गौरी वैष्णव गौर प्रेमानंदे.
To the Sunday program of the Panihati special program at ISKCON Scarborough today. Today is Sunday, May 31st, 2015. So we'd like to start off by thanking His Grace Ananda Gauranga Prabhu for a wonderful lecture, providing an amazing run-through of the Chaitanya Charitamrita from Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, Anta Leela to extract the essence of Raghunath Das Goswami and also the Panihati festival. Just wonderful. Right, thank you so much, Prabhu. Very good. So for this event festival today, we have two sponsors. Our first sponsor is Ananda Gauranga Das family and Das and also family, and the second is Radha Govinda Hari Prabhu and family. Thank you. So there are two wonderful offerings. The first is the yogurt chipped rice and also the condensed milk chipped rice. Just exactly as we heard from Anand Prabhu about two different varieties. We have them here as well, so we'll be honoring them very shortly. And just to provide some more information on what went behind the scenes to getting us this wonderful festival, I'd like to call upon His Grace Ananda Gauranga Das Prabhu. Yeah, so I'll just give two announcements that have to do with the upcoming programs, and then I'll call on Prabhu right after. So on Thursday, as was mentioned, we have Thursday, June 4th, we have a very, very, very special event at ISKCON Scarborough. We will be having the wonderful delegation from Mayapur who will be bringing the Paduka of Lord Nityananda and also the Shadari of Nrsimhadev to ISKCON Scarborough. Which is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're calling all devotees, and we've been announcing for the last several weeks. Please do come. Please get the association of these very esteemed devotees, and please get the association of Lord Nityananda's Paduka as well as the personal darshan of the Shadari and the Paduka for yourself, which you won't be able to get unless you went to Mayapur. So here it's coming to you. So it's a rare opportunity, and we'd like to call all devotees to come for that. So that is again a very special program, unlike any other. Thursday, June 4th at 6:30 p.m. We're calling all devotees to come. Then after that, the weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, June 6th and 7th, we have the Unionville Festival. And this is the first time that ISKCON Scarborough is leading this initiative, and there will be close to 25,000 people that will attend this two-day festival in Unionville, and we're going out to offer service on behalf of Srila Prabhupada by providing book distribution and various other services that will be rendered to these non-devotees, mainly non-devotees who will be there. So this is the first year that we're starting this, and I'd just like to keep note of that. And those who have pledged to volunteer for this event, please keep in mind that we are meeting on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. This coming Tuesday. Right here in ISKCON Scarborough, Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. A lot of things need to be covered, so please do come for that.
All the people, those who said they are going to come, please, they have to come, yes?
That's right, yes.
Last time they didn't show up, yes, please?
Yeah, so this time it's very, very important that you do show up and you come and actually receive, because a lot of tasks have already been pre-assigned. We just need confirmation, and also we need confirmation about who will be available and times and availability and all that stuff. That will be all decided on this Tuesday, and then the Saturday is the festival. So it's very short, and so please keep that in mind. So now I'd like to call upon Prabhu to talk about what went behind the scenes to bring us this wonderful festival. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So on behalf of ISKCON Scarborough, I would like to welcome each one of you to this special event celebration today. And today, as Prabhu mentioned, 31st of May 2015. Today is a Sunday. And for those of you who are here for the very first time, please raise your hand confidently. 1, 2, 3. Mother, okay, 3 of them. So we'll have to chant 3 Hare Krishna Maha Mantra again very, very loudly with some Mirdanga as well. Anybody with the Mirdanga? Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So you have chosen a wonderful day to come to ISKCON Scarborough as your first time. So on this note, we'd like to call upon you to offer a token of appreciation, which is this wonderful book, Lord Chaitanya is Life and Teachings. This is for one of the devotees. So we would like to call upon Mataji to come forward to accept this token of appreciation, and Mother also can come, and also the Prabhu who's here for the first time, please come forward. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So as you have heard, today is one more devotee who's here for the very first time. Okay, so please come forward. Let's continue the chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today being the Panihati festival, so we would like to thank the following devotees for making this event a grand success. Now you see these wonderfully painted pots here. This is not something that we purchased. So this was painted by our own devotees. Is that not fabulous? I don't think so we could have bought the pots with such beautiful painting from outside from a store. So this is fabulous. And also there are wonderful ingredients inside the pot, that is Mahaprasadam, that was offered to the Lord. So today we would like to thank the following devotees for making this event a grand success. And it's not possible for the devotees who actually cut so many fruits yesterday and today. So we'd like to thank the following devotees for giving us their valuable time and service by cutting wonderful fruits. Vaishnavi, Netra, and Sairam. And all these lids, all these wonderful pots had wonderful lids. I don't know whether there is a sample here. Is there?
It's Vaidehi, not Vaishnavi.
Oh, Vaidehi.
Okay, sorry, I'm just reading it from here. Okay, sorry, it was Vaidehi. So, as a way of us apologizing, how can we apologize? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Do we have the lids here?
Yeah.
So we want to show the devotees a sample of the lid that was painted, because all the lids were painted by Shivani. So Prabhu can, okay, why don't we bring it here, Prabhu? Is it different painting for different lids?
Yeah.
So maybe you can hold a couple of lids. No, we wanted to encourage others as well, and you can see the time that they've spent on wonderfully painting. Thank you, Hare Krishna. And this wonderful Radha Krishna pot here, that has been painted by Anjali. So just fabulous. If you come a little bit closer later on, you'll see the intricacies that are involved there. Meticulous work that has been done. Hare Krishna. Thank you. This beautiful Baladev pot that you see here, right here, left side corner, and that has been painted by Pooja. And this wonderful Subhadra painting on the pot has been done by Anjali again. Can anybody spot where Jagannath's pot is? Okay, so this Jagannath pot has been painted by Bhagyeshri. And this wonderful Narsimhadev painting on the pot was done by Vaishnavi. So that's definitely Vaishnavi, right? So this is fabulous. And the desire of the devotees who spent countless hours in painting this since yesterday is that they want to offer this to the devotees who are present here. So we would like to ask if the devotees would like to take a part with the Mahaprasadam, and if you want to offer a donation, that would be great. We'll offer a tax receipt as well. So the devotees want to actually offer the small pots with this wonderful painting, the 5 small pots that you see with wonderfully filled Mahaprasadam there, starting at $50. So, we'd like to ask if any of the devotees would like to purchase any of these 5 pots starting at $50. Again, you'll be getting a tax receipt as well, and you'll also be encouraging the devotees who actually spend countless hours in painting this, and you're going to get the Mahaprasadam. So let's start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra as the hands go up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, it's first come, first served basis. So if the first person we call upon, if they want a particular pot, then they get that. So why don't we start off with one Prabhu here, Panchal Prabhu. So the small pot starting with $50 and the big pot that you see there is $75. Again, it's all donation to the temple. We just want to...
You put me in Dharma Sankat now.
Whether to take the bid?
Okay, I'll give you $101 for two pots.
Only one pot allowed. We'll come back to the second pot because I see sorry, I should have put the ground rules already. 1 pot per person, and the starting is $50 for the small pot and $75 for the big pot.
So, okay, $51
for
Jagannath.
For Lord Jagannath. Anybody is willing to bid more than not to take that away from you. So should we do that or we just give it to him? Give it to him. Okay. So Mataji was doing the arati. If you can get the pot and give it to Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, we have 5 more pots, 4 small pots and 1 big pot. So the first hand that goes up will get the first preference. Mataji is here. Yes, Mataji. Narsimhadev pot for $50. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So 1 Prabhu, 1 Mataji. So now we'll go to Mataji again. If any, yes, Mother. Radha Krishna. How much is that? How much you want to donate? $75. $75. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Baladev, Subhadra, and the big pot. Please put your hands up. Yes, Prabhu.
I'll take Subhadra.
Subhadra. And how much is the donation? $51. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Two more parts, last chance, and we go back to Mataji. Okay, so Lilojini mother. Big or the small? Baladev. And for $51. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The biggest prize is waiting for the next devotee. It can be Prabhu or it can be Mataji. It's got so much of nectar inside that. Does it come with that shiny lights or no?
Maybe, yeah, with the shiny lights, no problem.
So it's full of nectar there, full of chipped rice, yogurt, condensed milk, as well as the sweets are there. So let's see how many hands go up for the biggest offering today. We'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra when the hand is going up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I see only Radha Govindari Prabhu's hand going up. And he's beating it twice. So he said $75 minimum and he's lifting 2 hands. So, is that to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra or to... Okay, so Prabhu is going to get that. And what is the donation, Prabhu? 75. Prabhu is already sponsored part of today's event. So he's going to again sponsor this for $75. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The idea behind today's festivity is to please His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, who is recuperating now. So this is an offering to Maharaj so that he's pleased and his health gets better as well. Hare Krishna. So we'll chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This we will dedicate to Maharaj's health as well. And also, as you heard, this is what Lord Nityananda Prabhu wanted. As we are celebrating the Panihati festival, he wanted everybody to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So today, we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra together for Maharaj's health as well as for following the instructions of Lord Nityananda Prabhu here.
So the design is what? This should be for $10.
The pots, that was this is
But you, when you're announcing, you didn't say that it's going to come with this. Yeah?
Okay, so I think Nityananda Prabhu did not get an opportunity to sponsor anything. So let's give all the Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Thank you. But if anyone needs this, I'll give you $20.
Anyway, there is that one $50 for 5 caps. Very good.
No, $10 each. I'm going to pay them. I'm going to get from them and the $10.
So nice, so wonderful. See, this is the enjoyment of a Panihati program in Panihati itself. With the mercy of Lord Nityananda, everything will go smoothly with the exalted.
just outside this room, on your right hand side. And please get your prasadam and come back here. And one more reminder, Hare Krishna. One more important reminder again. Again, we request each and every devotee to be here at ISKCON Scarborough coming Thursday at 6:30 p.m. because there's a wonderful team of devotees who have come all the way from Mayapur. They will be here. So we request again humbly all the devotees to be here at 6:30 p.m. coming Thursday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sundari, please be there by 3:45. Hare Krishna.
Here.